Oh my god, which pillow?
Gotta make a throw.
Turn.
Yo, you're not supposed to hit the wall.
Welcome back to the LCS Triathlon. Today I'm here with 100 Thieves. We got Busio and Closer. Busio won the coin toss. Competitively decided to go second. 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah,
That's a good strategy.
Bro, what is this?
It's a sheet.
Who uses this, by the way?
Yeah, tucking it on 3 sides.
Yeah, don't worry, I got this. Okay, go in.
I mean, he's doing pretty well.
Go in. Go in.
That's pretty.
Are we gonna let that slide?
I'm gonna let that slide.
Bro.
Yeah.
When was the last time you
That's
did
not
that?
tucked.
Well, he's tucking it so much. That is 3 sides, actually.
What? What is this, man?
Oh, that struggle.
Oh, someone trolled me.
Okay, that's pretty good. Straight out the comforter, and then you're done.
That's good, that's good.
Okay, he put the hat on. That counts. Yeah. Got to make a throw.
You literally look like a
Bro,
smurf.
what is this, man?
Oh, no.
You got this?
Okay, if you miss all of them, you still get to... Oh, that's so close!
Oh!
South Speedway. Oh, he had hustle there.
Oh, wait. I
Unpause it.
Hello?
Bro, this is not English keyboard. Okay, resume.
Okay, that works.
I mean,
lost some time there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Okay, how confident are you right now that you can do
we
this?
going.
0%.
What is this, man?
The bed's impossible.
Oh, no.
Turn.
Yo, you're not supposed to hit the wall.
This champ starts.
When was the last time you played Scion?
Someone bring the balls here.
No.
Bro.
Oh no.
I mean, at what point do you at what point do you
It's
just
a
run?
problem.
Okay, but who cares about this champ? Come on.
How are you?
Give me Viego.
Okay. John?
Bro, why is he hitting
no.
everything, man?
You better hope Scion never becomes meta in the jungle.
Hopefully not.
Jungle Scion, you guys are going.
We saw it once in the LPL.
Nice.
I think I'm doing pretty good. I don't know why you guys are hating.
Yeah.
Look, I can do it with one hand.
Did you
No
use
problem.
any actives?
You
Oh,
gotta
wait.
keep going. Get to the Nexus.
Bang.
Time.
There we go.
Okay, so we're getting the official timing. From what I hear, good times on the first 2, very slow on Scion Speedway.
Nah, that was good.
Overall time, 2:21.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
That's okay. You think you're gonna be able
Let's
to beat
see
it?
what you're gonna do.
The bed's looking a bit challenging.
All right, we'll see. 3, 2, 1, go!
He's copying.
He is. He is.
actually such a
I don't think he
fanboy.
would have had that innovation on his own, but that's how
Word
you
for
get better,
word,
right?
bar for
He's,
bar.
he's already bad. He's already bad. I can.
Oh my
I can-
God!
God.
3 sides. He didn't measure it though.
Yeah. Okay. I won.
He's joking.
Faster.
Oh, okay, that was a nice pivot.
You're
Thank you,
doing
thank you.
very well.
Okay, he still has the pillowcase though.
Oh my god, which pillow?
The one without the case.
Thank you, Raz.
Pillows in place. That's the bed. That's the bed.
Okay.
That's the bed. You got to make a hit.
That was pretty bad. Let's see this.
You're behind Closer currently, so you got to
Underhanded.
hustle.
Whoa.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
doing the underhand.
This is the first time we've seen the
That's too many air balls,
Very
buddy.
good, very good. Keep doing it.
So if you miss all of them, you also get to move on.
Great. Oh, so speed.
Yeah,
Can I
speed
just
is
throw them for
important.
fun?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling
Oh,
so.
no.
Maybe it, I don't know.
I got.
He goes. That was it. You
That
go.
was
That was
not-
in.
How is that in,
It was
man?
in. I saw it go in, and it
Yeah,
got in.
it was in, John.
It counts.
Okay, let's see the Scion.
Yeah. Okay.
He
Give me-
started pretty good with the resume.
He did.
Position.
Okay, we'll see. He was flaming your sign. He needs to make up a lot of time.
Yeah, let's see it.
What?
Okay. What is he doing? Stride breaker? Why did he press stride breaker?
I ran the math.
That's it. Drift.
This is impossible.
Oh no.
Raz, why are you laughing, bro?
I've seen worse.
I did the early cancel.
Oh, he's canceling. Why did I not cancel?
Okay, that was a little. Oh no.
Okay, can I laugh now?
I didn't think about
No.
the cancel stress.
It's not looking good, but he's going for the end.
I think I beat him.
It's a clean finish.
There
Time.
it
This
is.
is close.
Okay. We need to tabulate. Do you think you won?
Hell no.
No shot. There's just no.
They had to make sure that Busio wasn't cheating.
2:42, 21 seconds slower. slower. Yeah.
GG.
You lost time on the throws, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. The underhand. That was the first underhand
was a
we
big
saw.
mistake.
Yeah.
Hey, What can we say? I don't know what can we say.
Okay, thanks for joining us,
That was pretty
Busio
good.
Closer. Thanks for running through the triathlon.
Hey, what can we say?
What can we say?
Not much you can say. Actually, they're right next to each other
fourth and fifth.
on the
Yeah.
standings. Didn't expect that one.
One triathlon left.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't
I'm
get
looking
all the
forward to
teams
it.
through, but we got 12 players. So we'll see if anyone can dethrone Impact in the finale after the next game.
Can anyone beat Impact? Can anyone beat Armeo?
Yeah,
That's my view of the question.
Armeo's
Our Mayo is really
he's
going
the
to be
true
really
winner of
tough
this.
to beat.
He is.
talking about conversation generator.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. Honestly. My favorite part was for sure Busio getting hell for for the beds. For the bed specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Especially when he was like, which pillow? I was like, yeah, there's two pillows. One has a case on them. So I'm looking forward to more throughout the day.
Yeah. For the matchup, though,
Yes.
Yep.
For the matchup, C9 versus 100 Thieves. Let's start on that one.
it's not looking good right now for 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Their game yesterday was possibly a wake-up call because they had one of their least active games ever against Immortals.
Yes.
But I'll also say, when they've won, it's generally been through bot lane. Quid and Ssumday, aside from in week 1, haven't really been doing that much. Ssumday had that big game in week 1. And Doublelift not only said he was quite sick yesterday,
Yes.
he also just got perma-dove, and the solo laners and jungler were unable to make anything happen. So I hope that they're not just going in with exactly the same game plan of like maybe Doublelift can carry us and everyone else plays safe, because 0% chance that works against Cloud9.
Yeah, it's rough knowing the context, as you mentioned. But at the same time, IMT just played really well. I know this is not their game, so I don't want to go too much on IMT specifically and how they played them, but they mashed 100 Thieves consistently. Maybe teams looking at how 100 Thieves play will do the same thing and forcing them to play away from bot lane. It worked out for IMT, and so I'm interested in that one. That being said, Cloud9 has been struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Also just lost to Team Liquid just yesterday, so there's a few things that they need to tinker with. Sure, one thing that Dokla mentioned on the cast was how well they were playing from behind, but definitely don't want to get behind in that to begin with, and I think their comp made it very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think C9 are definitely at their best when they do make early plays. Like, regardless of composition, they typically leave themselves at least one avenue of making plays early on in the game.
Yeah.
I really, really loved the games they've had where they have been able to set up those bot dives with pushing lanes, especially when you can get Emenes involved if he also has mid-wave pushed out. And just as you said, we also did see them almost come back from behind against TL, who has had some of these like mid-game issues, but C9 is a team, in my opinion, that is really good at mitigating losses and being able to make plays around the map, even in kind of a losing situation, to keep themselves in the game long enough where they can out-team fight their opponents.
And I kind of feel like C9 right now is just in a lull. Because they were so dominant at the start of the split. They have won back-to-back championships going back to 2022 summer. And this moment right now, the way we look back on it, I think is going to depend so much on how they do in playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? If they end up turning it on in playoffs, we'll think, yep, they were just saving energy, trying out picks, learning how to get better. But if they did flounder out at the beginning of playoffs, you would then point to this as like the beginning of the end, because there are a lot of things that are off for Cloud9.
Yeah.
They have lost way more games than you would expect them to lose based on the talent on that roster and the previous success they've had. So I personally, with us being like 2 weeks out of playoffs, want to see them start turning it on right now, especially against Doublelift and 100 Thieves, but we'll have to see.
I definitely think drafting will be a lot to do, not necessarily with their success or failures.
I agree.
It's just something that not only is the meta changing quite a lot in the top side of the map, seeing Rumble be played a lot more and now being put in a permaban state, with Sejuani Renekton taking control, and now we're seeing more tanks. Ornn, we've seen a lot of Ornn since the last time Cloud9 went up against, I guess the first time Cloud9 went up against Team Liquid. So there's a lot that they're working on alongside with a lot of turbulence within the meta. So I'm interested to see what their next step is here.
I think the cool thing about C9, though, in terms of looking at some of their drafting across the split, has been that they were the first LCS team to kind of adopt the Ashe, if I'm not mistaken, which we were seeing be a little bit more contested over in LCK and then additionally in LPL. And I think that is, like, I am guessing that that's going to be a really high prio pick for them in this draft, considering how successful Ashe has been across this past week.
I wanted to point out the Blitzcrank ban. Usually is a good sign that Melio is going to be picked on to go back to their Melio Kindred comp, but with Melio being banned, now they're just pivoting away from it. So I already love that. These are just quick bans, and it seems like they already prepped pretty well for this.
Man, we're seeing a lot of Kai'Sa Rell.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're seeing a lot of Kai'Sa Rell double flex. If the Rell is actually denied here, it would deny the double flex that so many teams have been taking. That just seems like flavor of the week in scrims, 1000% would have been teams taking both. So this is, if they lock it in the first time, it's actually been denied as a combo, which I think is smart.
And I've usually liked Nautilus as a response a lot of the times. Not only is it just in isolation great with Kai'Sa, but a lot of times is a good answer to a team that's just trying to Rell engage on you if you can isolate Rell from the rest of the team. So there's that we've seen quite a bit of. Also, you can just go for something that has a lot more disengage in your comp with Melio being down. I do not like some of the other options.
It's a really early pick Ahri.
Yeah, it is.
For Quid. And I'm kind of wondering, obviously, C9 banned the Azir, which is primarily what Quid has been playing and what he's found success on. But this is a really early Ahri into something that they're still not sure about, right? Because obviously it could be Kai'Sa mid for Emenes, but it also could be Berserker's Kai'Sa.
It's usually the mids that take the brunt of it when you're trying to flex for jungle and support at the same time. And if you want to hold on to that, then you go into 4-5, basically trying to pick for a better support. So with Varus being locked in, I just expect it to be a pretty good situation for 100 Thieves, getting the best support match if they can get their counter pick there, while having an engaged jungler.
I will say, does anyone remember
Ooh, I love that sign.
Does anyone remember Blaber's record on Maokai?
He's 10-0. He is 100% win rate on Maokai, career-wide, right? It's definitely this year, but I think it's also career-wide.
He's the first to let you know.
He was letting us everyone know.
Yeah.
It might be 11 though, because he was 10-0 before the last time he won it, and we did the C9.
He's very proud of it. As he should be.
Maokai again.
He's fighting against the Maokai narratives with him. Because the playoff Maokai wasn't the cleanest. There was one game that wasn't clean.
But he won every game.
He won.
He won.
His team was flaming him. He still won.
Yeah, that's true. Facts.
Yeah, back to the draft though. As you were talking about, Raz, 100 Thieves showing a lot of their team comp. Technically, they can still flex into closer Rell jungle.
Yeah.
I think it would be okay against Maokai. Maokai's not exactly the power farmer that you would expect, but I still do like what Cloud9 has in general right now. They could technically still move the Jayce up top, so the Kai'Sa can still be a mid or a bot lane.
And man, they have a lot of poke in that comp so far from Cloud9, so I do like that. I think Maokai does a great job of being able to disengage if there was like a Rell engage would happen. We've seen quite a few of that in terms of the interactions there. They do, I think, need another form of engage, which is why the recon ban, I think, is nice, just so they can start up a fight whenever they want.
I also did want to point out that I believe, Rumble is still up and has not been banned. We've typically seen that as a common red side ban. And obviously, 100 Thieves did take away the Renekton, which maybe Fudge is happy about. Maybe he is sick of playing Renekton. He did not seem super happy to be playing it before. Braum taken away. That makes sense with the Jayce.
Oh!
It's time.
It's
close release in time.
The gloves are off.
This is...
Yep.
And there's the Rumble. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, so looks like Rumble top, Kai'Sa Nautilus bot,
Okay.
Jayce mid, and now 100 Thieves can try and draft around that. But I just want to talk about the closer Lee Sin because he has been having a really rough go.
Yes.
He did less than 1,000 damage on his Viego yesterday against Immortals, but Lee Sin has been his tried and true. But it is not in the meta right now. This is very much a bit of a Hail Mary. They're only one game ahead of FlyQuest in the standings. They're up against Cloud9. It's, to me, really just seeing if Closer can get a lot of early ganks off and carry the game.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing that we've talked about is 100 Thieves early game and how they've been incredibly passive. And when Closer is at his best, in my opinion, it is when he's able to affect his lanes early. So I really would love to see that out of this Lee Sin pick.
Yeah, and it's making the Ahri pick look pretty good too. Good
yeah,
test
it's a good
to see.
mid-jungle.
Exactly,
Yeah.
good to see if that mid-jungle works out for them too as they're going up against Cloud9. That being said, we're going to be heading right back to Raafaa actually. We're going to be seeing Raafaa as Azael for the first time. Take it away, guys.
Muchas gracias, Raz. We're on deck now as we're going to be loading into the game in just a bit. Thank you so much for taking Champ Select for us. And you already hit on one big note that I'm looking at. It's Lee Sin for closer here. I know that when this guy has, you know, utmost confidence in his play, he always goes back to this champion and can always turn things around even when it's a rough time for 100 Thieves.
Absolutely. They have been having a bit of a tough split, and I think him in particular has really been having a tough split. You know, we are getting down towards the later part of the split. He has still yet to be involved in a single first blood for his team in the entire split. Not an assist, not a kill, nothing. Not involved in a single one. So really has not been that proactive jungler that we really are used to seeing. That being said, all time, 47 games on the Lee Sin, 70% win rate on it. Has been his most successful champion historically. So you want to see him get off to a good early start to build that confidence, because we know closer at his best can be the best player in the league. He's had those moments in playoffs where he's a finals MVP, where he's a playoff series MVP, where he's just absolutely dominating teams. But I do think he's such a confidence player. You know, when things aren't going well, it has felt like he's just kind of gone back into his shell in a lot of these 100 Thieves games, and he's not even really trying for plays. You know, he's just kind of sitting back and waiting for something to happen. And I think that has been a big problem for 100 Thieves when, you know, Ssumday has not really been the guy to pull the trigger and make something happen. Quid is brand new. He's not really making it happen. So you're kind of just in this situation where everyone's just sitting back and you're allowing your opponents to dictate the pace of the game, which is generally not a winning formula.
Yeah, it's a far cry from the 100 Thieves that this team used to be. I still think of, you know, closers Lee Sin play during summer 2021 when they made the championship run. And, you know, they've tried different iterations over the past couple years, and it's not been the same. It's been super close, but not always to that championship level. But maybe today is a new start. We've already seen some upsets today. FlyQuest on the bounce back. Maybe 100 Thieves can find that bounce back as well. As we're gonna look at these first level jungle clears. Already Lee Sin starting on the bottom side of the map. He can make a couple choices here. Lee Sin not necessarily the fastest full clear jungler, but if he wants to go for an early gank, 3 camps, start looking to a lane that he can snowball.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see where he's going to go. But, you know, to speak a little bit about the importance of this series, Cloud9 has been dropping some games. You know, they are now tied for first with Golden Guardians, but of course they want to be able to stay ahead of that. They want to be able to keep picking up wins. And for 100 Thieves, it's actually getting a bit dicey, right? You know, early on, I think they had a pretty decent start, but they are now sitting at 5-8. FlyQuest is only 1 win behind them now after their last win, right? And they're sitting in 8th place. They're sitting in 8th place, so dead last in playoff spots. Only 8 teams do make it. You know, 9th, 10th is going to miss, so they cannot afford to actually fall behind. They need to start picking up some wins, secure their spot. And if they do win out, there's no way for them to be caught. But even if they pick up a couple wins, they're probably going to be in a pretty decent spot. So it is really important that they get things working, because the expectations, I think, were much higher than just like a team that barely scrapes into playoffs and gets knocked out for this squad.
Yeah, I mean, they imagined that when Ssumday came back in, almost said Ssumday, and then Quid coming in for the replacement as well, 100 Thieves, they were expected to at least just guarantee top 6. The fact that they are now in a pressure point where FlyQuest and Immortals are on their tail to knock them out of playoffs puts a lot on the back of their minds. So 100 Thieves just have to find that composure to stay balanced and stay focused and, you know, truck it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for a lot of their games, it kind of just has looked like it's been up to Doublelift to carry. You know, there hasn't been a lot of proactive stuff going on, and then generally that does mean it's going to come down to 5v5, so you can kind of hope your AD can do something. But the problem has been a lot of the time, you know, they're playing those team fights from a really disadvantageous position, and sometimes there is a lot of focus down towards bot lane. You know, Doublelift yesterday even tweeted out after his game that he thought he had a horrible game, where he was getting picked on pretty heavily, died 4 or 5 times relatively early on, was completely knocked out of the game. And, you know, he has to have those top-level performances that we know we can, because right now, no one else is really stepping up for the squad to kind of get them these wins.
Yeah, well, let's take a look right now. We're under 4 minutes and a closer, as we talked about before. Lee Sin, not necessarily the fastest full-clearing jungler in the game, so skipped over those Krugs to make sure that he could get to the top crab first, whereas Blaber got his full clear in. He's up on levels at the moment. He has pretty much the full map if he wants to play for, but Maokai is a jungler against the Lee Sin matchup. If you just let the game play out and Lee Sin doesn't get anything done, then the only thing you bring to the team as Lee Sin is finding that miracle in second gauge. advantage, right? Or just at least peeling off a threat with the kick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it can be difficult to make those plays happen, but you know, my opinion on Lee Sin has kind of like changed somewhat over the year, and I think it was Peter Dunn that said it like this, which I really like. The explanation that he feels that Lee Sin scales with skill, right?
Yeah.
And I think that it is one of those things where it's not necessarily a champion that is going to be useless late game. If you can execute well enough, you can still solo win, you know, a 50-minute team fight potentially when you get that perfect kick and you knock someone in, you make that magic happen. But the baseline for Lee Sin is really low, so you're not always going to make too much go on.
Maybe a level 2 all-in engage. Busio's forced to flash. The Ignite is burning down on Zven, and he doesn't flash. He thought he was going to live, but it's first blood over to 100 Thieves bot lane. Closer is here for the Sonic Wave, but Blaber shows himself, and that means Closer is not going to take the Resonating Strike.
Yeah, not going to be able to go in after it with Blaber there, but nicely done by the 100 Thieves duo. In the 2v2, they get the kill. It looked dicey for Busio early on. I was a little bit nervous for 100 Thieves when he actually re-engaged with the crash down after getting, you know, hooked up there. I thought, okay, well, he's about to die, but he flashes out early. Doublelift stepped up, and Zven kind of held on to that flash for a while. Maybe thought he was going to be dead even if he did flash. So, you know, nice play at the end of the day. The hook comes in, and this is where I thought he's just going to W backwards to safety. Instead goes forward. The W lands. The Shattering Strike there does connect as well with that stun. Lethal Tempo fully stacked for Doublelift. He's able to just step forward, get that kill, and it is Doublelift picking up the first blood in that 2v2 kill. That is huge. 400 Thieves.
And while Closer necessarily wasn't involved with the assist of the first blood, his presence there, I imagine, is what gave morale to 100 Thieves and the confidence to play out that 2v2 all in, you know, that just is my copium.
Come on, man. You're just saying it's gotten that bad. It's to the point where you're like, well, he was really cheering his team on well from the stands.
Hey, sometimes, you know, it's like, hey guys, on bot lane, just go for the all in, and they make it work, you know? Sometimes it's just the confidence, the morale boost that you need to make the play happen. If anything goes wrong, I'm here to salvage the play.
Okay. I feel like desperate times when that's what you're looking for the positive play.
I am being the voice for the 100 Thieves fans that need a win today. You know, I am for the people.
Well, they have a win for their 2v2 in the bot lane.
True.
We can just give it to them. Busio and Doublelift looking good so far, and things going okay up on the top lane. You know, Fudge rushing tier 2 boots, so is Ssumday. The defensive option here with the Merc Treads, though, for Fudge. We have been seeing a lot of Rumble, but it mostly have been getting picked, you know, kind of in counter matchups or in positions where they're expecting their opponents to have to go towards a tank.
Yeah.
You know, we saw Impact do the blind Rumble, but in a situation where the opponent team already had double AD carry, and he's like, you kind of have to play a tank. Your team needs frontline. So, you know, we haven't been seeing it as much in kind of these situations where it is versus a range matchup. It can be obviously a lot more difficult to bully. But that being said, you have incredible wave clear. You can push out those waves really, really heavily and take away a lot of the advantage that Kennen would have. Could be vulnerable here as Busio might be going down.
I know he doesn't have flash, and this time Zven saves the flash. The flash from Blaber follows up on Busio, and he's got nowhere to run as long as Berserker can get one more auto attack, and it's the final in the queue that gives the killing blow. Doublelift wants to fire right on back, but he steps too far forward, uses the cleanse, flashes backward, but it baits enough time. Maybe Closer can look for it, flash Q, but Berserker flashes it, but Zven's got nowhere to run. Surely Doublelift cleans it up, and yes, they do! 100 Thieves fire right on back.
Okay, this time I'll give you the Lee Sin support here. But Quid coming down, pop the ulti, he's gonna look.
Oh, okay, Spirit Rush into Flash into Charm, doesn't quite go, missing it, but 100 Thieves at least find the kill onto Berserker. Execution be damned, it doesn't matter, they got it anyway.
Yeah, the spells did not connect there from Quid. Oh, Quid, you gotta go there. Okay, that was making me a little bit nervous. He's gonna pick up turret aggro. That would have been one of those unfortunate circumstances, but great job by Doublelift actually getting so much damage down in the 2v3. You know they're going to be going for the Rell because he doesn't have summoners, right? Busio takes the hook, the flash in comes from Blaber, but Doublelift is just autoing the entire time. Lethal Tempo fully stacked. He chips down Zven. Zven has to retreat. The Ignite gets cleansed off there by Berserker, and then he's just kind of chasing in. Cloud9 looked for the turn, but Doublelift still has his summoners available, so he cleanses, he flashes, he gets back. Berserker, of course, having that flash forced there by Closer. Doublelift steps forward. It's a rare solo kill at the end of the day, as no one got assist credit on it. And then in comes Quid on the roam, not able to connect anything. And this is where I got a little bit nervous, where, you know, is it actually going to get turned around by Berserker? But the Electrocute proc comes through, and they are able to get that finish off.
A little dicey in the end, but 100 Thieves make it happen. during the replay, Cloud9 were able to pick up the Rift Herald, and 100 Thieves didn't get a chance to necessarily answer with the Dragon right away. They're starting it up now, and because 100 Thieves bot lane have the push, Cloud9 cannot answer, so it's a neutral objective trade for trade.
Yep, we can see at the same time, Blaber going to be moving on into the top side. You can see him looking for this invade, already pre-warded over by that red buff. Takes down that Herald, moves into the enemy jungle. Going to be taking some of this away because he knows that they are on these dragons, so that's what you want to do. When your opponent is taking that neutral objective on the bottom side, Dragon's going to take a wild knockdown. So he's going to at least get 2 camps, potentially get even more. Closer, of course, should know this, though. So he's going to be moving down towards this bottom side, trying to zone Berserker off the tower. They're going to be able to get another plate solo for Doublelift. So really well done. And if they can deny even just a couple of these minions, then it is pretty worthwhile, despite the fact that Closer did lose some camps on top side.
Yeah, and it's not the flashiest thing that you get to do as Lee Sin, but because you have so much pressure and so much power early on versus something like a Maokai, just in the upfront lethality and burst damage that you provide, you can do simple things as just walking down when a wave crashes and zoning off the AD carry so that they fall further and further behind. It's not a big lead in the moment just in terms of CS, but because Doublelift has picked up 2 kills, he's got a bounty, and he's already finished his Kraken Slayer. So that's huge for any upcoming skirmishes.
Absolutely, right? And it's going to be a very high DPS build. There's a lot of different builds that you can honestly go as Varus these days. Lethal tempo generally means you're going AD on hit, but we have seen some players go lethal tempo and still go AP. There's also the lethality builds for poke, but that is kind of less common. So he's going to be putting out a lot of damage, and I do like that he's doing this because I think if you just autopilot and go poke or you go AP when you have double AP soul laners, it's going to be really bad. Like, it's too easy to itemize against. So I think they need that consistent physical damage, and this Varus build can bring it. We'll just see if they can actually create space for him to be able to get that damage out, because it requires you having that time to sit and fire and get a lot of autos off to stack up that lethal tempo. And that's going to be difficult when Maokai's coming in on you. You're going to be getting Nautilus ulted. There's going to be an equalizer on your head. There's going to be a lot of pressure towards that backline. And if you get tagged by the Nautilus ult, then all of a sudden you're getting killer instincted on by this Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
So they need to really do a good job of creating space, either with counter engage with tools such as the Kennen ult, or by preempting the play by starting to dive out themselves and creating space by pushing back the C9 backline.
But Cloud9 are not going to have any of that, Azael, because they wait for Doublelift to walk in the lane and punish him without his summoner spells up.
Nicely done. Going to be able to grab an easy kill there. Busio is trying to play through the river, get a little bit of vision, and C9 just lay a trap here. And that sucks for Doublelift. Had 2 kills, had the advantage. They're going to have to TP down towards bot to try to defend this tower. The turret will get crashed on by Shelly, though. So at least 2 plates do go C9's way, and they grab a kill that unfortunately went to Blaber. Or fortunately.
Yeah, and well, depends on
the
want.
point of view.
Yeah, true. I know Blaber's not always necessarily a fan of playing the Maokai, as voiced in the LC9 takeovers. Like, guys, I want to play more fun champions. Please don't let me keep playing Maokai. But, after yesterday's game against Team Liquid, it was so close in the end, but eventually won out by Team Liquid, I would hate to be on the other side of Cloud9 that just barely lost, because they always play way fiercer. And it seems on the turnaround.
It's true, right? They do come out with a little bit of anger, a little bit of desire to kind of get that win back, if they feel like they gave one up. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do that. They touched on the desk. They were talking about the 10-0 for Maokai. It is actually 11-0 now after that last win, because I think he was talking about it before his last win.
Yeah.
So 11-0 career on the Maokai for Blaber, looking to go 12-0. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that. But we already touched on the Lee Sin stats for Closer, which is both his most played and one of his highest win rate champions, a 70% win rate.
Yeah, but it's versus 100% win ratio, so math. Checkmate.
Yeah, Cloud9 already won. Should have let him lock in the 100% win rate champ.
Yeah, that was
Why don't they just do that at Worlds? It's easy. Come on.
Real. All right, well, Cloud9 make it to Worlds again, and then just lock in
the 100% win rate champ. Come on, guys. Drafting is easy.
I mean, they always say it's draft diff. It's Mithy's fault.
True. It's just never. He always locked in the lower win rate champions. What was he thinking? That's crazy.
Well, Zven is doing his best job to perform on a champion that he has said,
that isn't Yuumi.
Yeah, that isn't Yuumi, so he's beating the allegations. As Cloud9 still able to bounce back. The fact that off of that play of the trap, getting Doublelift down, Berserker catching those plates. He's now at a static shiv. He's still slightly behind in overall gold against Doublelift, but the fact that he is scaling right up alongside him, we know, looking at Cloud9's composition, is just such a terrifying team fighting comp, as you alluded to previously.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really difficult. Of course, there's a lot of power on the 100 Thieves side as well. But I think potentially more difficult to execute on what they have to get done here with their comp to really make it happen. And yeah, Berserker is a little bit behind, but it's like 300 gold. Honestly, who cares at this point? It's not going to be that big of a difference. 14 minutes in has not resulted in an item completion before a fight or anything like that. You can see Cloud9 moving up towards that top side, potentially trying to get some vision and maybe set up for this next Herald. But it is the dragon spawning on bot side, closers in the area, so 100 Thieves going to be playing towards that. And this means Ssumday does have to be a little bit respectful up in that top lane, given that it is not being contested on bot side. So he's going to have to sit pretty far back here or risk dying. I mean, he should expect that someone's coming up.
And Zven has made his way through the fog of war, so they have no idea if Zven is up on top side yet until he goes for the vision control ward. So that means that Cloud9 are just invested into making sure that Ssumday cannot leave lane. Fudge is able to get the safe push in. This is a Rift Herald trade for second dragon of the game to 100 Thieves.
And you can see how respectful Doublelift is actually being. Look at him sitting on the map. He's just kind of sitting in this area, that neutral area between the dragon and mid lane. He's not walking into mid lane because, again, he knows most of his team's all down towards bot. He could get picked off, similar to what happened down in bot lane. So paying the respect over to that, he's just going to sit back at the tower, wait for the wave to crash. It is the first tower taken by Quid down here on that bottom side. It was solo gold, I believe, given over to him at the end of the day. So he gets a pretty big injection of gold. Cloud9 likely going to be able to actually trade this tower back on the top side, but maybe not on this wave, actually, as they were kind of busy farming it up in the jungle, and Berserker didn't have quite the damage to do it. We'll see if 100 Thieves do want to full send up towards top and try to defend the tower, or just if they're okay to trade.
Yeah, I think the trick here for 100 Thieves is, since they no longer have the gold lead that they had a few minutes ago, I imagine that your one item spike here, if you're playing any fights, it has to be numbers advantage. You need to make sure that you are always getting the jump on Cloud9, because if you opt into a 5-on-5 where Cloud9 are fully prepared to set up proper battle lines, it just tank difference overall is always favoring Cloud9 here.
Yeah, but my concern with 100 Thieves in this position is it feels like they're falling into some of the bad habits that they've kind of developed over this split, which is just allowing your opponents to dictate the pace of the game, right? You know, you can try to be really defensive and say, okay, we're only going to look for really good fights. We're only going to look for perfect fights. But that's allowing Cloud9 to kind of choose a lot of their moments. And when you allow one of these teams that is at the top of the table to actually pick when and where you're going to fight, it's going to be very hard to beat them, right? Because they're not going to be trying to pick losing fights either. It is a deep TP flank, though, from Quid. Looking like 100 Thieves want to try to get something, and it could be Zven that's the target. All
right, well, I mean, Zven is an easy target if they can get this kill off, but he flashes away to safety. Dredge line under the tower means that he's out of there. 100 Thieves investing a teleport, a trade for flash, but the fact that Zven can still always use Hex Flash doesn't really feel like a win here for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and they are able to take down that tier 1 tower top as well, as Emenes was pushing up there, and Quid's now in trouble.
The re-engage, they know that Quid doesn't have Spirit Rush here, as he... Maybe the trail equalizer is going to light them all up on the pieces. Doublelift is forced to flash over the wall. Nice kick from Closer, keeps Berserker stunned up, and they all end on that play. They're only able to trade one back. Ssumday firing with the teleport of his own as he re-engaged into Cloud9's backline, and he's able to trade one back. Blaber stunned up. 100 Thieves come alive as they don't let Ssumday down, and 100 Thieves pick up a massive win. Oh! Put over the wall, Emenes from downtown. Accelerated shock blast silences Quid.
Emenes able to snipe down Quid, but that was 4 kills for 100 Thieves, as they just full sent it onto Doublelift. Everyone kind of going in, trying to take him out. Remember, Zven didn't have his flash, so the whole team couldn't actually get there. Blaber starts it off with the ulti here. Busio in position to block it up. You can see he actually buffered the crash down there, and then down comes the equalizer. Doublelift realizes, I gotta cleanse, I gotta get out. Berserker flashes in to follow. There's the kick flash from Closer over on the Berserker. He goes down in a hurry. Doublelift does fall as well, as Fudge had gone over the wall to try to help him out, but that's both committed flashes there from Fudge and Berserker just to chase down on Doublelift, and they end up going down. And then on the other side, Ssumday barely survives. He's able to get out of there. This is a big shock blast. I'm actually pretty surprised that killed him. He was at a good 30% or so HP, so showing the power of that Jayce. Emenes has quietly been forming up a storm here. He is just 1-0-0 after that one kill, but he is really rich and does already have the Duskblade complete. He's got the Manamune stacking up and has Less Whisper on top. So richest member in the game, very quietly. Got a lot of plate gold in the earlier stages and did get isolated tower gold up on the top side when they were trading. So he's pretty stacked.
I mean, there's a lot of time that 100 Thieves used Quid to roam and affect the bottom side of the map, trying to pressure and continue snowballing Doublelift. I imagine that was a lot of time where Emenes just got solo resources, as you already pointed out. And for 100 Thieves, it seemed that team fight was going to give them the rejuvenation they needed to find another snowball. But Cloud9, once again, one step forward, one step ahead of the play, seemingly. Maintaining that gold lead is important, because now we're heading into the mid game where 100 Thieves, they're going to run out of gas soon if they don't play these fights well.
Absolutely, and they're going to have people stepping up. You need to have Ssumday and Quid stepping up. They're in a pretty good position. Doublelift is going to be continuously focused very heavily in these fights. He has no flash, so it'll be a really tough dragon fight to navigate for him. So that puts more pressure on Quid, who was able to grab a couple kills in that last fight. You know, he's sitting on 3 kills. He needs to be a difference maker in these 5v5s. 100 Thieves got the first 2 dragons and would love to continue stacking, but it's going to be a difficult approach to the fight. And you can see how respectful Doublelift has to be. Walks all the way back towards that wolf spit.
No sums.
But I mean, man, it is hard to walk in here through all these Maokai saplings, and I don't know.
Busio looking for a Hex Flash, doesn't find anyone. Cloud9 all tightly positioned on the left side of this flank. They've given up river control over to 100 Thieves, and now Closer is threatening. 4,000 HP on the Dragon. Cloud9 still waiting. Quid fires for Spirit Rush, but it's just the equalizer right on top of the engage from Zven, and oh my goodness, this is going to be disastrous for Cloud9, but 100 Thieves, they're just falling by the wayside. Cloud9 turned that fight completely around. It looked bad once Zven first went down, but as Nautilus, you know, your life is for the team. All 4 stay alive while they take down 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Quid went in on the engage, and yes, he survived, but he had to flash out, had to use the Spirit Rush to get out. Gave up almost all his health to not really put any pressure on the carries. The equalizer comes down, Berserker and Emenes have space, and Cloud9 destroy the fight. And just kind of keep your eyes on this initial engage. Watching Quid, you know, there's a lot of pressure on him to be successful in this fight. He Spirit Rushes forward, hits the charm on his Zven, but why is that the target we're going for here, guys? The hook was also buffered out by Zven, so yes, he flashes, he Spirit Rushes, he survives, Zven goes down. But look at the position of the carries. Doublelift is already zoned out of the fight by Fudge. Berserker and Emenes are untouched, and it's just not a winning position. Those are the fights that you have to be able to execute on. You know, if they win that fight, if they're at soul point, it's a completely different game. Now, you have that kind of incorrect target choice. Cloud9 destroys you in a fight, stops your stack towards soul, takes the Baron, and the wheels have fallen off for 100 Thieves.
Yeah. And at 4,000 gold lead for Cloud9, it might not seem like much, but the fact that we pointed to 100 Thieves being the team that had to get off with the snowball early in the game. I mean, we know that Closer can always maybe find a miracle play with this Lee Sin, as you already alluded with the Peter Dunn point, but it's just the ability and the difficulty to do it, it just becomes so much harder.
Especially against teams that have a lot of point and click CC, right? You know, you can be trying to go in for that play, you're trying to look for a kick flash, and you just get Maokai W, Twisted Advance comes through, and all of a sudden, it's pretty unfortunate, right? So we'll see if he's going to be able to find any sort of a play. You know, when you have Ahri and Lee Sin, you've got to be playmakers. You've got to find these correct angles, and 100 Thieves have not been able to do it just yet, but they're looking for Emenes now.
Okay, Closer looks for the kick onto Emenes. Do they have the damage follow-up? Emenes is starting up for pretty much a lot of the time, but Clouds are trying to flash over the wall, but Emenes still survives! And Dustblade allows him to escape alive, and Cloud9 is just cleaning up all the 100 Thieves members on the other side of the wall. Oh, it's disaster for 100 Thieves, and Cloud9 for them. It's just another day in the office. Triple kill for Fudge. They're pushing in the minion wave. And with the Baron buff on their side, I don't know if they're going to do fatal damage to the Nexus, but they're going to look for as much as they can.
Yeah, they're looking for a lot here. Fudge flashed in, caught Doublelift with both the Electro Harpoons at the end there, is able to get the kill. The initial engage on Emenes was great. They got the kick, they landed the charm, but they weren't able to finish him off, and Quid went into his Zonias pretty early there, didn't quite finish off the kill. And we can watch this one more time. You know, the initial play was good. I don't think they were aware that Closer is here, so Closer finds the angle, Q connects, Ward Hop, kickback, Charm connects as well, but you have got to make sure that this guy is dead. Quid goes into the stasis, doesn't get that final damage out, had 2 charges of that Spirit Rush. You know, Doublelift couldn't connect any damage to actually finish him off. You know, Ssumday was not there at the same time, so unfortunately Emenes gets over the wall, Closer dies chasing him, and then this is kind of just insult to injury as Fudge flashes forward, connects on both the Electro Harpoons there, has the big slow. and Doublelift not able to get out. And now this game is really all but over. Cloud9 showcasing their skill in these 5v5s, in these team fights. 100 Thieves had some good moments, but just haven't really been able to fully coordinate it when it matters most.
For Cloud9, just a couple minutes away before they can push in this wave, find one more fight. 100 Thieves, the risk tolerance for making plays is now at an all-time high. You have to just do something. There's no point in just letting the game being choked out against your will. But a snipe from Emenes onto Doublelift means there's no more carry from the side of 100 Thieves. An easy engage as Emenes follows up with a double, and Cloud9 are about to make this simple as they push into the base of 100 Thieves.
That was crazy. Doublelift was full health. I think that was just Voidseeker Shock Blast was 100% of his HP. That is ridiculous. You're 2 screens away and then you're dead. And now Cloud9 marching on the Nexus. Here comes the TP. They want to finish the game.
Ssumday goes in for one slicing maelstrom, but doesn't get all the full procs off. He pops before he gets anything done. Cloud9 take out closer again, and it's just Busio all alone to defend the base. Cloud9 do have to wait on the next minion wave to push in, and for them, it just might be too much time to wait as they're going to take a reset.
Yeah, not wanting to risk anything too crazy. Let's just, okay, so he wasn't 100% HP. I'm exaggerating. This is like more like, what, 60, 70% HP, somewhere around that. He has 1200 HP. You can see the big notch and then the small. So it's, yeah, it is the Shock Blast and the Voidseeker. The Voidseeker hit him in between, but the first strike damage is actually delayed there. So I think it was actually the first strike damage that gets the killing blow from Emenes. So it was Shock Blast hit, then the W from Berserker hit, and then the first strike damage from Emenes hit, which gave him the killing blow, I believe. But yeah, that was 1200 HP is what Doublelift had. You can just see by the little tallies on his name. So definitely was not full health, but geez, that is a lot of damage from very far away.
And then combined with the Duskblade passive too, where it gives execute damage based on missing HP. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it could have been Duskblade damage coming in as well. I'm not actually sure what it was that finished off. I know there was like that little travel time on first strike, so I was thinking maybe that was why it worked that way. Because it is funny seeing Shock Blast hit first, then another spell hits, and then you get the kill. You know, it's like
Berserker just thinking, I was robbed. That was my kill. I had the last.
Should have gone Ludens, bro. You would have got it.
I mean, Emenes is having fun this game. He's got a Spirit Shojin. I don't think I've ever seen that build on Jayce before.
It is really, really good. So when you actually get late game on Spirit Shojin and Jayce, you can get to a point where you can do 2 Shock Blasts per acceleration gate. So it is like really, really strong for poke. We'll see if he has enough cooldown. So let's see. Is he going to get a second one in this? Yep.
There it is.
So you can actually hit that point where it's more of a late game build, but C9 going to end the game.
I mean, they're winning it all right. I mean, do I even have to cast it? They throw out all their ultimates pretty much at this point. 100 Thieves are just crumbling. Retreating back to the fountain as Nexus turret 1 is about to fall. The second turret will fall as well. Dredgeline doesn't even care if he hits it or not. Zven has done his job. He gave up his sacrifice. And you already talked about before, it's just so hard to play Lee Sin at this point in the stage of the game when you're so far behind. But Cloud9, what a damn good way to bounce back after yesterday. And they're showing why they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, they're going to try to pad the stats here, looking to farm some more kills in the fountain. They'll try to make something happen. They are getting low.
Okay, Busio with the Magnus Storm. They take out 2. Can they take out 2 more? But the minions are already doing the work. And Cloud9 will take another win in the Summer Split.
The 27 minutes in, 20-11 is the kill score there for Cloud9. 100 Thieves had some good moments early, but it's Cloud9 who dominate in the 5v5s. And they can go forward, shake hands with their teammates, and accept their just rewards.
That's right. And with that, now it's time to check in on the medal ceremony and our Verizon post-game interview.
We have a little bit of confusion at the medal ceremony right now with there seems to be a little bit of a traffic jam over here. We're gonna wait until they clear this out to see who has received. Okay, so in 3rd place, we have representing Australia, Fudge for his excellent Rumble performance. I'm sure he's happy that he got to play that. Second, Emenes, excellent Jayce performance, providing that poke. And of course, the gold medal representing the United States goes to Blaber. He is undefeated on his Maokai. And we are going to now set an interview with the winning team.
All right, don't run away from me right now. It's a slight interview. You're 12-0 on the Maokai. Who do you credit this to?
myself, I'm very good at Maokai.
What about
Cap.
what about your coach, Mithy?
He drafted Maokai, so good for him, but Maokai is still very boring, so I hope he doesn't do it again.
All right, Emenes, you were farming up like a storm. You got the silver medal. How do you feel?
Kind of boring.
It's a little boring. That's why you're getting second, buddy. Any response?
Oh. No.
Zven, it seemed like you wanted to be first here, but it didn't go your way. How did you feel about that decision?
It's okay. We gotta make up for the height difference.
All right, there it is. All right. Congratulations, C9, for the win on that one. And we send that run back to the casters.
Watch player. He will go.
Oh, we got a little bit of a comms
Oh,
action
it's
here.
insect.
Got him.
Now watching the fun.
Kill. What? You let me die?
Oh, you shoot him out of my E, by the way. Good job.
Hook it 2 seconds.
2 seconds? Yeah, I have words, by the way.
Hook him.
Oh, stopwatch. Fucking
Ahri?
Quid.
Kill Berserker.
Maybe don't die.
Doublelift.
Maybe don't die. Please don't die, guys. Please don't.
Doublelift! Kill him!
Please.
Letting you all die and then ending. Okay.
Beautiful synergy.
Tactful sabotage there for
Yeah.
Fudge and Zven.
Yeah, you know, really, it's a worrying trend for Cloud9. Completely split comms at the end there. You know, you
That's
can
crazy.
feel the tension between those teammates. Zven wanted to kill Doublelift. Fudge just let him die. Cloud9 in shambles.
You know, it's a payback after Fudge never got ganks being on Renekton in all those games. It's like, you never gank top when I'm playing this champion. Please, just help me. But for us, we, from now until August 6th, use your MasterCard to make a purchase from the in-client store and save your card on file to be entered for a chance to win a trip to the League of Legends World Championship 2023 or a set of 8 Player of the Week statues. Both pretty
It's in Korea this year. That would be a pretty cool trip to win.
Yeah, I miss Korea. I went to Busan in 2018 for the World Championships there. It was a blast. Hope we get to go again. But for us, that's going to do it. We're going to be sending it to Brave. When we come back, there'll be Immortals taking on Golden Guardians.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
I've got the Samsung 990 Pro series. Shall we get started then? The speed exceeds all expectations. Reading speeds are 40% quicker than before, and writing speeds are 55% faster. With the in-house controller, the per watt performance has improved up to 50%. The 990 Pro's nickel coating controller for its smart thermal solution technology controls heat. Playing computer games? Obviously the best.